Would you suggest somebody who's just getting into poker in general ever to start with Omaha?
No, Omaha is something you have to do. I love Omaha because of the thrills it provides. But no, you definitely should get a hold of all of them.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
In terms of the overall spectrum, how much does school really matter in terms of your future?
People say it's supposed to prepare you because people always consider school and they think of it strictly in those academic terms, where classes are supposed to prepare you for the real world. And the fact of the matter is, there's much more to the college experience than classes. The most interesting experiences that I've had that have prepared me for the real world have been clubs.
If after a couple of months you've asked for your money back and they haven't said anything, or they just say, well, they give you some bullshit excuse like, oh, I haven't gotten paid yet, well, then it's okay to kick it up a notch and say something like, well, hey, give me my goddamn money. Is there anything else you want to add?
Fuck Boston.
I'm sorry. I didn't know it was a bad thing to save money so you can actually pay for things in cash instead of buying them on credit and getting into debt. My bad. You think men respect women?
Yeah, I mean, of course, we view certain women. I guess if you were to see a stripper or a woman that looked slutty or like a hoe, you would say, "Oh, what's that girl doing with herself? How could she?" But I don't think. I mean, back in the days, women were basically like slaves. You know, now they've got the jobs and they can vote and all this feminist bullshit. But no.
What I'm talking about is if you're with your friend and you say something like, well, I've gained, a couple of pounds. I mean, I really don't know how I've gained it. And they come out of nowhere saying, well, stop eating takeout. Meanwhile, this person weighs 300 pounds and is saying this to you, stuffing their face with shrimp and broccoli and a side of spaghetti. Well, if you had one thing to say to anybody who was telling you, you can't do this, you can't be transgender, it's an abomination and all that crap.
Yeah.
What would you say to those people?
That it's my life and I'm going to do what I want to do. As long as I'm comfortable, then there's no reason that you can tell me that I can't do something that's going to make me feel like I'm myself for once.
Usually, people want to talk about how drunk they are, how many drinks that they've had so far in order to get as drunk as they are right now, whether or not they want to play drinking games to get more drunk, or tell you stories about them and their friends in which they've gotten drunk. For the most part, you're a geek, you don't really, socialize, you don't really talk to girls. Is that true?
For me, no. I don't think that MMORPGs really inhibit guys from being able to, if they get on them and then get off, it's like they're less likely to hook up with a girl because they've been playing this game. I don't think so.
So it doesn't really change who you are.
No.
I mean, who you are is who you are.
Who you are is who you are.
I've been told that I should be careful about what I say in my video blog because it can come back to haunt me, particularly when I'm looking for a job. Fuck that shit. Do you think, because I said in the beginning of the video that most friends or people in general will stab you in the back in the long run, do you agree with that statement?
Yeah, eventually people will keep stabbing you in the back, but that's why I have a wall up, and you just, you gotta deal with it. You gotta know,
You just have to deal with the situation.
Yeah, you just gotta deal with the situation.
But you said stabbing, like I said stab. I said it once, you're like stab. Have you ever heard of side ass?
I've never
no,
heard
because
the
I coined
term
that.
side ass.
You coined that, so nobody.
I do agree that happens.
I coined that term just
now. You believe that happens?
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely look at the profile of a female and actually just see what would look like a perfectly round ass, and then when it turns around and you actually see what it looks. Sorry, children just passed by.
Anyway, back to the list. Back to the list.
We're not done with the list.
No,
we're not done.
Now,
with this.
God,
this is a little bit what we were talking about before. Flubber butt.
When you go after something, you're usually not going to get it. When you strive for something, you're usually going to fail. And because people fail all the time, because there's so much negativity out there, people need to hold on to the little amount of success that they have or that they can obtain day by day. But what if somebody fails all the time that they get to go after something? Who are we to tell them to keep trying?